Well, here we are. This is our first podcast for BeWunder. Round of applause from us. Sorry, that's probably bad for audio. Apologies. I should know that, really. So we decided at BeWunder to start a podcast, and we've called it
WunderPod.
And that's because of wordplay, and we love wordplay.
It's Pod of Wonders.
I suppose we need to explain exactly what we're going to be talking about.
No, I don't think so.
No? We just carry on talking?
No, we'll just introduce ourselves and then we'll just start our topic, I think, yeah?
Ladies first.
My name is Delilah. So I work here at BeWunder. I'm a marketing manager. And this is my amazing co-host,
Daniel Charles.
Yes.
Now, I'm a project manager for the spatial experiences side of the business. Those of you that don't know us very well, we have two parts of our business. We have spatial experiences and we have
event production.
Events production.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, Daniel, just for our viewers, what is spatial experiences?
I suppose that needs a little bit of explaining. When we had the rebrand and the spin-off of our company, we had the change of name from the previous to BeWunder Spatial Experiences and BeWunder Event Production.
Yeah.
And there was lots of questions about what spatial experiences was. And I can explain that in one breath of a sentence. And I'm going to do that right now. I did not Google this, by the way, everybody.
He did. He did.
So spatial experiences, what is it? A spatial I did a deep breath.
Why would you do that?
I had to do a deep breath because I'm going to do this in one breath. Right? Okay, so a spatial experience is a multi-sensorial and simultaneous experience that involves built environments, people, context, and purposes, and is capable of enhancing emotional connection within space. So that's what it is. Okay, and now I can breathe. So yeah, essentially what it is from our side of the business, from spatial experiences, we like to build environments within museums, cultural experiences, immersive shows for things like museums and expos and what else do we build? Visitor centers, exhibitions, these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And I think me and Delilah have a passion for this side of things. We have a passion also for podcasts, hence why we've started a podcast. Okay, so that's what we're going to try and make it interesting. We're going to try and make it informative. We're going to try and make it entertaining, but who knows? My sense of humor is very hit and miss.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes because Daniel thinks he's really funny. So let's see, guys, because
the key word there is thinks.
Yeah, he thinks so.
But yeah.
Anyway, Daniel, today I think since we spoke about spatial experience, I think it makes sense to discuss one of the focuses, which is museums.
Museums, yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I know that you know more than me.
Probably know a bit more than you, but that's not that hard, is it?
We'll check right now.
Yeah. Okay.
What was the first museum
that I went to?
No, in the history. Like
the first museum. So you're quizzing me already.
Yeah, exactly.
The first museum ever. Do you want a year or the name of museum? What do you want?
I'm sure you cannot tell me the year. You cannot even tell me the name.
200 BC. Was that the year?
That was just a guess.
Yeah, it was a complete guess.
That was a basic guess. No, actually, while I was doing my research, there were literally so many versions. Like, I've read that the first one, it was not recorded, but it was like we assume that in ancient Egypt, pharaohs, they were showcasing, the some of the things like artifacts that.
So the ancient Egyptians had museums.
Yeah, but officially the first one, it was in Babylonian Empire.
Okay.
Like the prince, he built like the first museum that we found. It was 530 BCE, I think.
Was it in a pyramid?
No.
No, okay.
Babylonian Empire.
Okay,
Daniel,
sorry.
Please,
my history's terrible.
Please. So that was the first one. But then it's also interesting because the next ones, we know that officially 18th or 19th century, 18th century, sorry, in UK.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was thinking, okay, maybe Dana will be so happy knowing that. But then I read that no, actually it was in Italy, Rome, and other few that were, I think, open in 16th and 15th centuries. So
how are you memorizing this? You're not reading your notes at all.
No, I know I'm Asian, very Daniel, good. But you can see that I'm looking at you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
The first joke that's going to be cut. Yeah. Done. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, this was the first one, basically, that I've read. And then there was a British museum, which opened in 19th century or 18th century.
I've been to that museum. Is it the one in Trafalgar Square?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the British Museum in Trafalgar. It's a bit dated at the moment. I'm sorry if I offended anyone there, but it is a bit dated. It's lots to do with art, lots of art on the walls.
Yeah.
Obviously, the history of the UK is in there, and the Roman Empire, etc.
Yeah.
But I think if I can just bring it to what we do here, I think the direction that we're going at the moment with museums, not just in this region but around the world, and how we're producing them and how we design them, is 100% the way forward, right? Using what we do, as technology.
That's interesting because lots of national museums around the world, they already started using technology.
Yes.
Like it's not simply like museums in general, they've come such a long way from just a simple place where you showcase their artifacts to a place where literally they use such crazy technologies like holograms and augmented reality and virtual reality and all of the stuff that you know about. So tell me.
I suppose what I mean is the new buildings that are being built for the purpose of a museum, they're being architecturally designed to incorporate this technology, basically. So, for instance, like the British Museum, it already has spaces, right? Already has a built-in environment, right? It's not necessarily the best place for certain things. So what they're going to have to do is, if they want, say, a real immersive spatial experience, they're going to need to build separate wings to that particular museum, or they're going to have to build walls and fit out the spaces. And what they don't really want to do in those particular buildings, because they're historic buildings, they're not really allowed to change the architectural makeup of the buildings. Whereas the stuff that the new museums that we're building at the moment, they're purpose built to incorporate theaters, they're purpose built to incorporate the technology, the audio design and things like this that we're installing at the moment.
Which is actually very interesting. So you mean that old museums, that were established, let's say like 18th, 19th centuries and early 20th century. So there is no way that they can actually implement those technologies, or it's like architecturally, it's really hard to expand or to build new wings or whatsoever. So they're stuck in that?
No, I just think it's different. I think it's different because, like I said, like the British Museum or the Natural History Museum or the Science Museum in London, I'm referencing London because that's where I'm from, they are grade 1 or grade 2 listed buildings that cannot be touched. So you can't knock down walls, you can't move columns and beautiful ornate kind of facades or anything. You can't do anything with it. So, but like I said, the museums that are being built like in this year or last year in this decade,
they're completely different.
They can be purpose built for the stuff that we install, basically. And I think we're the sort of the linchpin for the stuff that we do is probably the linchpin of the experience for visitors to these museums. Technology is the way that people are learning now, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so like I'm not really good in those technical details. Yes, I've read and I know what we're doing here in the company. So just wanted to ask, because we do, and not only us, I think museums, they are willing to use lots of virtual reality, augmented reality, this type of technology, holograms, for example. I don't know, the Museum of the Future here in Dubai that recently opened, right? They used lots of the stuff, correct?
Definitely, I'm trying to think of examples of exhibits in that museum that I can cite now, but I can't. There's so for instance, like if they want to display a hologram, they'll use something called a Pepper's Ghost, which can be produced in various different ways. And that's essentially a piece of glass suspended in the air, and it shows an image on it, which is a 3D image, and it will spin a particular artifact.
That's what we did in Japan Pavilion, no? or I'm mistaken? There's something of this sort that.
Maybe there is.
Yeah.
Maybe there is.
Yeah.
I only did that 2 times. That was very difficult to get into that pavilion. It took about an hour to get into the pavilion for a 30-minute show.
But you've been there so many times. I had a chance to go there only once. I had to stand in the line for 2 hours.
Yeah. I was very lucky. I was the guy lucky enough to take around our clients around the expo.
Guys, I don't understand how Daniel was doing that. I swear I don't understand, because I was with him when we were in expo, and how he could get in every pavilion, I have no idea. He would just approach the pavilion. He's standing there. The line is like, there's a huge line of people, and I'm just looking at him. He's there. Okay, there's no way he's gonna go inside.
Lucky. I think I was lucky. The times that you was with me, I was lucky with the people at the front. I was able to charm those particular people. You were not even in the line. Some people tell me to F off. You were standing
close to the line, outside of the line completely, and then I turned around again. Yeah, and then he disappeared. And then after 15 minutes, he came back. He was like, yeah, I met everyone I needed to meet. Okay, let's go. How? I don't understand.
Do you know what? I miss Expo. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. And it was so good for us as well. This was a massive start for us.
Huge. Yeah, we did how many pavilions?
15? 11.
Yeah,
10, 11. We did 10, 11.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to anyone behind the camera, by the way. I'm just, looking into the distance. It's 10 or 11. It's definitely 10 or 11.
Also, we did lots of all the performance venues there.
Yeah.
No, it was crazy.
Apart from Al Wasl. We didn't do Al Wasl Dome.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But the main stages, DMA stage, Jubilee stage, the best bits. Yeah, that was definitely us. But yeah, I miss it. I loved Expo.
No, it was amazing. Like, for example, in New Zealand Pavilion.
Yeah.
Like,
insanely good.
The whole experience was crazy. It was small, but they managed to incorporate everything, and the way our guys did their work with this 360 degree, like what
I think that out of most of them, that was a pure spatial experience.
Yeah.
Because it was simple.
Yeah.
But it incorporated everything. It incorporated smell, it incorporated touch, it incorporated
sound.
Obviously the sound and visual side of things as well. But when you think about it, it was just a box.
Yeah.
Right? It was just a box, but you had the water, so that was a real natural kind of, it really gave you a feeling of what New Zealand was.
There is a technology right now, how did he call that? I know I read a lot, but I forgot the term, where they actually implement all these things like sensorial type, and sound and touch.
By the way, I only learned that word earlier,
and
sensorial.
Really?
Yeah. It was tough to say it. I was reading it earlier. Sensorial. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
It's the easiest word in English.
Great accent, by the way.
Really?
Brilliant, yeah.
Aww.
Do it again. No, go on, carry on.
Okay. So lots of museums, they're trying to implement that as well. And it's crazy right now thinking the evolution of museums. From this point, we are right now going towards a completely different, direction. It's something related, like they're implementing lots of AI technologies right now. Yes, at the moment, I think they use it just to test, let's say, and observe visitors' behavior. Yeah. But in the future, who knows? What's gonna be there?
Exactly.
I cannot even imagine.
I think we were talking about this the other day, wasn't we? About how the new generations learn and how they're educated.
Yeah. Demographics will change definitely, 20, 30 years.
Absolutely. And that's why the museums and the education system is changing drastically at the moment as well. Like kids are learning from iPads.
Yeah.
Kids, I mean, the new generations are working from iPads. They're working from, not just computer screens. They're working from interactive boards on the wall.
Yeah.
And the same with the museums. It's all touch screens on the wall. It's all interactive screens, all interactive experiences. It's all changing because people are learning very differently at the moment.
It was interesting when I didn't know about the theory of museums, actually they date back to early 20th century. And basically, initially, the museums are the foundation of museums is based on one theory, which is called Kunstkammer. It's from German.
You have to say that slower. Say it again.
Kunstkammer.
Kunstkammer.
It's German Cabinet of Curiosities.
Mm-hmm.
And basically this theory is where that was the purpose of creating museums in the first hand, is to show people those artifacts, to inspire people, to show the wonders of the world, you know. And so the theory states that the artifact is the main focus in the museum. But then it's outdated right now, because right now the main focus is a visitor. It's the visitor's experience, right? So then the new theory, which was the branch of this Kunstkammer theory, it's called eco museums. So in eco museums, the main focus is a visitor. And
how they interact with the space.
Her experience in the museums, and also eco museums. It's a bit different. It's a very interesting topic actually, because in eco museums they believe that let's say we have a museum based in Dubai. So in this type of museum, they need to showcase and promote and show the life of local people. You know, like let's say UAEs. You know? So if it's in London,
Eco
British.
Museums.
Yeah. British.
So they're sort of designing the museums around the people that will visit
community.
As the community that's
to
around
promote
it,
the place, to promote the people, to show their history, and which is very interesting, but it goes against lots of, you know, museums in the world. Let's say National British Museum. You have artifacts from around the world, right?
Because they stole them.
Yes. I didn't want to say that. I was just waiting for you to say that, but so
right,
that goes against that, right? So that's where these eco museums they came along. It's not a very strong theory right now. Still, of course, there are a lot of people that are against that, but lots of people.
So eco museums are museums designed around the experience of a particular group of people.
The focus is people. So it's not only about the artifacts. It's about also the community where this museum is promoting the culture, the community, it's helping. So there are museums, for example, in Spain, I forgot the city, there is a museum where all the people that live in this community, in this place, they are participating. They are helping to develop or write programs for museums. So they are involved heavily in this. So that's why it's called like eco museums, which is around people, community, and all these things.
And the demographics. I suppose they think about, like, I read a study once on one of the museums that we're potentially going to be working on. And it was an architectural study for the concept, basically. And they had to show the nationalities that would come, the predicted nationalities that would come to the museum. They had the predicted age, the predicted demographic, culture, this kind of thing. And I think here in the Middle East, there's lots and lots, obviously, it's a huge tourism destination, right? So there's so many different cultures that come here. So I was reading it and thinking it must be really, really difficult for these, concept consultants to develop exhibitions and particular museum types, because it's just so varied. It's not just like the locals from this particular region are going to be attending these museums. I suppose that's the same for most museums around the world, right? Like London is changed a bit. I think London, is it still one of the highest tourism destinations, the largest tourism destinations? But this area where we are is definitely catching up, if not overtaking it.
I think in terms of London has definitely lots of tourists. But here we have lots of expats. They live here, residents. So they're permanent. And I cannot even imagine how hard it is for these guys to come up with a concept. It's nearly impossible to understand, but again, you can generalize, you can
no, definitely not.
No, you can, like, how many, there are only several countries right here. The majority of expats come from several countries, right?
Go on, name them.
like India, Pakistan, Philippines. Who else do we have? The
UK,
Arabs,
Germany.
No, Arabs from other regions.
Other regions.
We have
other regions.
Europeans. We have less. Or other countries just less and lesser. We have lots of Russians right now here as well. So exactly.
And this is, I imagine, is incorporated into all of those sort of concept studies when museums are designed and stuff. But one thing I need to learn a little bit more about is the museums that the existing museums that we've got in Europe, because obviously we work on museums in Germany and lots of places around Europe. So I really need to look into more how they're kind of being developed in terms of their design and stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the tourism industry in these cities. I don't know. In Berlin, must be a high traffic. Tourism.
I think I told you about the National Museum of Scotland, right? When I was in Edinburgh, I was like really surprised how they've changed it. And how amazing it is right now. And also, I told you about
just recap on that, on the National Museum. What do you mean by it's changed?
Remember, I told you there are artifacts. They're there. You just walk around. But every maybe 10 steps or 15, 20 steps, there's something like some games too, like interactive displays, you know. You learn something and then you test it, you know. Or some of the games, they are not even related to like to what you were learning before, artifacts that you've seen. But it was so entertaining. It was so much fun. Like I was standing in line with kids. Like they wanted to play, and then after them, I wanted to play. So you know,
just imagining you in line for these things, pushing a kid out the way.
No, to be fair, they were their parents as well. They were also playing. You know, and I was like, okay, come on. Like I know I don't have children yet, but I want to
jump
play.
in the queue.
Yeah, I was like,
get out of the way. It's my turn.
Actually, I did. I did. While the kid was lost, I was just like, just go. Okay. But also they had another one, and I wrote down the name and I forgot. It's it's a completely interactive museum about the Earth. I think it's called
at the National Museum. In Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh, They had like I forgot the name completely.
I'm gonna get that fly, by the way.
Please.
It'd be amazing if it was on camera as well.
It.
Sorry, audio. Such an amateur.
Like I remember I wrote it down just for you because I remember last time I also Dynamic Earth.
Dynamic Earth. Okay.
Have you been there?
Nope. I've not been to any museums in Scotland actually. I must get up there and look at some museums. I know.
Such a shame.
I go there every year as well for the Edinburgh Fringe.
Such a shame.
I'll put some
like
time
literally
aside.
You are working in this industry.
I know.
Like Dynamic Earth was amazing. Again, lots of children and mainly for children, but I didn't mind that because
you're a child at heart.
Yeah, it was full of simulation, real icebergs there. I was standing next to an iceberg and touching it like I've never touched an ice.
Real ice?
Yeah.
So it's like a cold room.
Yeah, it's huge actually.
Like a freezer. Okay.
Yes, huge. So
cool.
There was first simulation, then 3D cinema there, and they talk about the Earth, the starting from a Big Bang, and the whole evolution actually.
Oh, cool.
So it was amazing. I've never experienced something like that, and I think that was the first time when I realized like museums are so cool. It's not like I didn't think of that before. I did. I'm a very cultural person.
Do you know, in the lead up to this podcast, I attempted to do some research and I watched a video on the Natural History Museum in London. Just to like sort of bring back the memeries of the museum itself, to relive it. And I it really was nostalgic when I was watching it. And there was one particular exhibit that I remember walking into, and it was a animatronic Tyrannosaurus Rex room.
Yes, I remember those things.
But I remember walking into the room, turning to my left and just legging it out of the room because the moment I walked into this room, the Tyrannosaurus Rex was roaring at me, and I was like, I'm gonna die, and then I legged it out the room. Yeah,
I remember,
traumatized me, but I love the museum.
I think there was a franchise, or not, because they came to my city when I was a child for a few months, and then they left. So they were like traveling around the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we also had the same thing, and I still remember that I loved it so much, especially. Again, I will show myself not in the best light, but there were lots of children, and I was a child as well, just for your information. And there were lots of children that were scared like you, and they were screaming, and I was laughing, and I was like, yeah. And I love those like things.
Don't get me wrong, I manned up afterwards, and I walked in the room like a boss kind of thing. And I showed that Tyrannosaurus Rex.
How old were you there? It was what, after 10 years?
No, I was under 10 years old. It's one of my first memories of museums. But yeah, I remember looking at that. I was looking at this video the other day, and it just brought back so many memories. And this is the thing; it's such an emotional thing when you go. Museums are just such an emotional thing, and they build so many memories for us. And that's why I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about building these museums now and developing these memories for the future generations.
I'm excited to talk about those museums. I'm excited to learn about these museums. I've never thought about it. So, like about the theories, museology, and you didn't know. You see, I didn't know what.
What didn't I know?
Eco museums. Who wrote it down?
Eco museums. I didn't know.
What is that?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Eco museums. Yeah.
Ecomuseology
The word sensorial.
as well. Yeah.
I learned that today as well, or the other day. The word sensorial and eco museums. Yeah, I'm going to look at those.
Okay, let's play a game right now.
A game. All right. Okay. Cool. I'm ready.
So I gave you the paper.
You did give me a bit of paper.
So please look at your paper.
I purposely didn't read it.
So. I read it because I wrote it.
Because you wrote it.
Yeah. So, but I'll surprise myself as well. Mm-hmm. So anyway, guys, we'll play Would You Rather. It's a simple game, and the topic is.
We've all played Would You Rather. I hope it's not the game that I played, but go on.
I hope so.
The version.
I don't want to hear some details, but
go on.
Okay. So the first question. Don't look.
I'm not looking. Okay.
Would you rather spend the night in a haunted museum or a museum with a live exhibit of dangerous animals?
So the dangerous animals are live as well?
Yeah, what? Do you want them to be dead?
Well, I don't want to be in a museum full
so that's why it's called Would You Rather. So
animals.
You have to choose a haunted museum or a museum with a live exhibit of dangerous animals.
That's an easy one for me because I don't believe in ghosts. So I'd be in the haunted museum. Thank you very much. There you go.
I hope you...
Easy.
I hope something would happen now.
Next.
Next is you.
Oh, it's me. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is for you. And it seems strange that you wrote these and I'm going to ask you the question because you've already got an answer in your head.
It's not like I prepared an answer.
All right. Would you rather participate in a scavenger hunt in a museum after hours or spend the night in museum's storage room with only the artifacts for company? Only the artifacts for company.
Depends on the artifact.
I think you should probably ask me all these. It depends on the artifacts. Go on.
No, I would choose a scavenger hunt.
Why?
What do you mean, why? I don't want to be in the storage room with an artifact. Okay, it depends.
So
if it's a magical artifact or something that will give me superpowers, then I would spend...
I really want you to explain what a magical artifact is.
I don't know. Like, I told you about this... I told you about this mysterious museum. There are only rumors about it.
The mysterious rumored museum.
The Hidden Museum of London or something of this sort. I told you to read about it. Yeah, to research, which you promised for 2 weeks.
I have a terrible memory. And now, like, all of my colleagues that are listening to this are going, yes, he does.
The Forbidden Collection Museum in London.
Forbidden Collection Museum in London. Okay.
Like, if you try to Google, there's nothing. So that's why...
And it's all magical stuff.
Like, it's rumored to have all these supernatural artifacts there, or artifacts from lost civilizations like Atlantis and all of these things, and that it belongs to a private collector and only selected people like me
be invited.
Yeah,
I think maybe if we get famous on this podcast, we'll get invited to the Forbidden Artifact Museum.
I found it. I researched. You did nothing.
There's no we in team.
What would you do there? What would you do there?
In the Forbidden Museum, I'd just soak it up. I'd be like,
you don't believe
no one else has seen these things.
You don't believe in anything supernatural.
Huh?
You don't believe in anything supernatural.
Yeah, but I like to
prove yourself.
think about them. I like to think about them
and see
and ask. No, you know what I mean. And ask people why they believe it.
I don't want to know what you're thinking about in private time, but okay. Okay, next one.
All right, it's my one, isn't it?
It's mine.
Oh, it's yours.
Would you rather sneak into a museum after hours to see a famous exhibit, or break into the museum's archives to see rare artifacts?
I mean, I would go with the nefarious one. I would rather break into a museum's room of artifacts and look through them.
To see rare artifacts?
Yeah, I think so.
One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't steal one, no. I wouldn't steal one, no. I would, if I had to do one of those two things, I would rather break into the, conservation room and look at them.
Okay, let's do next. Your turn.
Do you know that, I keep banging on about the Natural History Museum, but the one in London, they've got 10 times more artifacts in their storage than they do on show. I don't know if that's an amazing fact or not.
That actually beats the purpose,
makes sense,
right?
Though.
But it beats the purpose of museums.
I don't know, because I think they have these conservation rooms, and they have the, especially for that type of museum, and they have universities come to research whatever it is that's inside there and stuff.
I've heard about it, and again, it's a very interesting topic. I think we can cover next time because it's about the science and art, which is really good. It's related to digitalization, all this technology, and etc. So, okay, next one. Okay,
I answered that one. Okay, my one. Would you rather take part in a museum heist or be the detective trying to catch the thief? So you'd rather be in the heist.
I'm good at both, actually.
I think I know the answer to this one.
What?
Without you answering yourself.
Heist.
Definitely.
Heist.
Definitely. There's rumors around the office that you're part of the KGB.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah? Who started you?
Probably. Yeah.
It might be true.
Actually, it wasn't me that started that rumor.
If you get
I'll tell you after.
in trouble after this,
No, I won't get you in trouble. Don't worry,
guys.
we're all friends here. But it wasn't me that started the rumor.
MI5.
Shh.
MI6 even.
MI6, yeah.
Okay. Would you rather go on a guided tour of museum with a ghost or visit a museum with a cursed object on display?
Both of those things I don't believe in.
You have to believe. Just believe.
Okay, so imagine that I did believe in those two things. Say it again. A ghost or a what?
Guided tour of a museum with a ghost or visit a museum with a cursed object on display.
I think that's easy as well. I think the ghost is going to have a personality. So I'd rather have the ghost taking me around a museum. But the ghost can't just be any old bloke. It needs to be someone that knows the stuff that's in the museum. Do you know what I mean?
Obviously, that would be someone
that is exhibited within the museum. So
I think someone who died there.
Huh?
Someone who died there because of a cursed object
in the museum. No, but I want to go around with the ghost.
Intertwined.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'd choose the ghost. I'd definitely choose the ghost.
I think it's cooler with a ghost.
Yeah.
But what if it's a poltergeist?
What's the difference between a poltergeist and a ghost?
Like, imagine you're walking and he's like.
So a poltergeist can actually physically harm you, right? Is that the thing?
Yeah, that would be fun to see you harmed.
Me harmed by a poltergeist. Thank you very much.
No, imagine you don't believe and someone is hitting you.
Yeah.
I can see because I believe and you're gonna.
Okay, thank you very much. Cheers. But yeah, that's an interesting question. Though I don't actually know what the difference is between a ghost and a poltergeist.
It's not like I know, but
you should definitely know. You know all this weird stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Anyway, go on. Yeah, I'd take the ghost.
Okay, I think we're running out of time.
Oh, we're running out of time already.
Yeah, someone.
That flew by.
No one behind the camera just showed us that we're running out of time. I think we have lots to cover again in our next
episode.
Podcast. Yeah.
What was you worried about all this time? You had me as your professional broadcast hero, backing you up.
And anyway, my back hurts of carrying the whole podcast.
Yeah.
I just need
Yeah, but you're welcome.
With my sense of humor.
Thank you very much.
With my facts, interesting. But no, it was actually interesting to cover the topic, and
we hope you found it interesting as well. By the way,
yeah, we hope we said.
I suppose we have to say that thing that they say on YouTube. Can you please comment?
Oh yeah, please comment.
or
click the button below and subscribe to our channel or something.
Press the bell. Is that a thing they say as well for notifications and stuff like that?
Oh my God, we're so bad in this. We need to be more like you.
We're gonna get so much better.
Yeah. Sorry guys, we're not that young, so.
Cool. Yeah. You're not.
Anyway, I look younger. Anyway, thank you guys, and.
Yep. See you later.
We'll see you later.